The search for supernatural powers continues, in spite of science and technology. In the heart of downtown New York, even today, occultists call on the old gods.
Come watch us come and stand in our circle. Come watch us come and stand in our word.
Why, you may ask, in a modern and supposedly enlightened world, should there be a hankering for these strange and to some frightening beliefs?
People are looking for the old earth traditions, the traditions that in some senses their ancestors had. You know, there's an old joke that if you go far enough back, everyone's ancestors were pagans. And it's true. It really is true. And so in some senses, you can see this movement as an attempt to go back and take out the juice, take the folk traditions, the dances, the songs. Nobody does that anymore.
With the waters of life, do I consecrate this sacred grove.
Modern witchcraft draws heavily on ancient Celtic traditions of nature worship. Whether in the country or the city, its rituals follow the cycle of the seasons.
All hail be to thee, mighty ones of the north. You're at lords within the realm of the horned one, shining bright and swift as a stag. Join the children of Aryan Rod.
Witchcraft is known to its followers as Wicca, the craft of the wise. Members meet in small groups called covens. They are led by a high priestess who represents Mother Nature and the goddess of the moon.
All hail be to thee, mighty ones of the south. You're at lords within the realm of the serpent. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Happy Seven, everyone!
Most religions totally forbid any involvement with witchcraft. Considered evil and demonic and linked to Satanism, witches were accused of worshipping the devil. Until quite recent times, to be a witch was to be condemned to burn in hell. If the devil lives anywhere, it could be in San Francisco.
From our point of view, it really makes no difference whether you pray to a father god, or to a mother goddess, or to an entire gaggle of gods and goddesses. You're still wishing the same thing. You're still wishing to be included. You're still wishing for their acceptance. You're waiting for them to put their arm or arms around you and say, you belong, you are part of us, you can relax, we will take care of you, we approve of you, we endorse you. The Satanist, the black magician, does not seek that kind of submergence of the self. We do not seek to have our decisions and our morality approved or validated by any higher god or being. We take responsibility unto ourselves.
The Temple of Set follows the ancient Egyptian Prince of Darkness, Satan, in another guise. It's America's only legal satanic church and enjoys tax-free status. Lillith Sinclair and temple director Michael Aquino edit the Satanic Newsletter.
Basically, Christians, as well as many other religions, and even a lot of the occult groups are around, are afraid of us. We threaten them. Not physically, but our existence and our philosophy threatens their security because we pose questions that they don't want to face and that they don't have answers for.
The Temple of Set emerged from the Church of Satan, founded in the mid-60s by Anton LaVey, a one-time lion tamer and carnival performer, and the Church of Satan's self-appointed magus.
Well, it had occurred to me for many, many years that there was a large gray area between psychiatry and religion, that was untapped, and no religion had ever been based on man's carnal needs or his fleshly pursuits. All religions are based on abstinence rather than indulgence, and all religions, therefore, have to be based on fear. Well, we don't feel that fear is necessary to base a religion on. The fact that religions for thousands of years have been telling people what they should do and what they shouldn't do according to the basic whims of a person who might be running the show is very understandable. We're realists, we Satanists, but we also feel that a person has to be good to themselves before they can be good to other people. This is a very selfish religion. We believe in greed, we believe in selfishness, we believe in all of the lustful thoughts that motivate man, because this is man's natural feeling.
I decided that I liked Anton LaVey. He was a pleasant man. He believed in what he was doing, and underneath his somewhat Mardi Gras exterior, I sensed that there was an individual who did in fact have a new perspective on the human equation, on what humanity is.
Now, if a Christian said to you, you were just really worshipping yourself, what would you say?
In a sense, they would be right. It is a form of self-worship. The only thing that keeps it from being totally that is that there is this sentient being, which is the Prince of Darkness, or Set, or Satan on a more primitive level. But it is a relationship of mutual respect rather than worship in the popular sense of the word. Yes, we regard ourselves very highly because we feel we are superior beings in a sense that we're not just little robots going around punching our time clocks, getting up, going to sleep, and that's our existence. There's much more to it than that, and we feel that we are gaining the knowledge of that deeper universe.
Anybody who attempts to explore Satanism needs to be strongly advised against it. Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. The very nature of Satan is such that he is a liar, and that he endeavours to convey something which is not true. And I think people who are deceived into being caught up in that are placing themselves in a very dangerous position, and my strong advice would be cut with it immediately.
Not all witchcraft is dark spells and evil forces. More typical of modern Wicca is Selena Fox. In America's Midwest, she embraces people with white magic.
A lot of people really confuse witchcraft or Wicca, pagan religions, with devil worship. They feel that it's evil, that we're harming people, that we're putting spells over people without, consulting them, and we're really not coming from that space at all. Most people who get to know us realize what we're doing is a very positive thing, that we're working with the energies of the earth, that we're very much tuned into a love consciousness, that we're seeking to do those kinds of things that religions all around the world have at their very essence, which is working with healing, working with love, working with achieving an inner balance and an inner communion with the divine. The ritual that we are doing is being held on a mound, a sacred mound, which we believe was used by Native American peoples here for thousands of years. We decided we would reactivate it as a sacred place. So this ceremony is for dedicating the mound as an earth healing temple. In this sacred circle, there is unity, there is love. We are one with each other, and with the earth, the spirit of this place. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
We consecrate this place as a sacred place of healing. We are part of a whole. We are part of all of Mother Earth, and it's important to see that and to work in harmony with the other life forms. And by putting that thought there, if enough people held that image in their mind, real magic would start happening on the planet. People would start treating each other differently. They would start not only treating other humans differently, but plants and animals and the ground that we walk on, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink. Magic is real. And I don't see it as supernatural, but very much natural.
We call the spirits of North from the home of the northern winds and spectacular lights. Bless this sacred space with your gifts of groundedness.
We call the spirits of West, land of the setting sun, of the moon and the oceans, of the waters within our minds and our bodies.
Spirit of South,
bring us intuition.
Arise in us
for this circle.
Consecrate this temple of the earth.
We call to the earth, we call to the sky, Mother Earth, Father Sky, we call the spirit of center, the earth, the sky, the planet, the heavens and stars. We call to spirit to bless us that are working, so mote it be. A few months ago, a national Catholic newspaper interviewed me. And the first thing I said to them was Jesus Christ was a witch. And it talked about how the path of Wicca and its love consciousness is real similar to what Christ was espousing. The golden rule we have is worded a bit differently, and harm none, do what you will, but it's the same thing. No, it's loving your neighbor as yourself.
More light, more love, more freedom, more joy. 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 More light, more love,
Lord, secret and most holy, source of light, source of life, source of love, source of liberty, be thou ever constant and mighty within us, force of energy, fire of motion. With diligence let us ever labor with thee, that we may remain in thine abundant joy.
So mote it be.
Lady of night, that ever turning about us, art now visible and now invisible in thy season. Be thou favorable to hunters and lovers, and to all men that toil upon the earth, and to all mariners upon the sea. Giver and receiver of joy, gate of life and love, be thou ever ready, thou and thine handmaiden, in thine office of gladness.
So mote it be.
Lord of life and joy, that art the might of man, that art the essence of every true God that is upon the surface of the earth, continuing knowledge from generation unto generation, thou adored of us upon heaths and in woods, on mountains and in caves, openly in the marketplaces, and secretly in the chambers of our houses. in temples of gold and ivory, and am worthy that did of old adore thee, and manifest thy glory unto men. O.T.O, and Siddhartha, and Krishna, and Tahuti, Moshe, Dionysus, Mohammed, and Megatherion, with these also Hermes, Pan, Priapus, Osiris, and Melchizedek, Chem, and Amon, Mentu, Heracles, Orpheus, and Odysseus, with Virgilius, Catullus, Martialis, Rabelais, Swinburne, and many an holy bard, Apollonius Tyaneus, Simon Magus, Manes, Pythagoras, Basilides, Valentinus, Bardesanes, and Hippolytus, that transmitted the light of the Gnosis to us their successors and their heirs, with Merlin, Arthur, Gamaret, Parseval, and many another prophet, priest, and king that bore the lance and the cup, the sword and the disc against the heathen. And these also, Carolus Magnus and his paladins, with William of Shiren, Frederick of Hohenstaufen, Roger Bacon, Jacobus Begensis Melensis the Martyr, Christian Rosenkreutz, Ulrich von Hutten, Paracelsus, Michael Mayer, Roderick Borgia, Pope Alexander VI, Jacob Boehmer, Francis Bacon, Lord Verulam, Andrea, Robertus de Fluctibus, Johannes D., Sir Edward Kelly, Thomas Vaughan, Elias Ashmole, Molinos, Adam Weishaupt, Wolfgang von Goethe, Ludovicus Rex Bavariae, Richard Wagner, Alphonse Louis Constant, Friedrich Nietzsche, Hargrave Jennings, Karl Kellner, Furlong Dukes, Sir Richard Francis Burton, Sir Richard Payne Knight, Holger Gong, Dr. Gerald Duncos, Dr. Theodore Royce, and Sir Alistair Crowley. O sons of the lion and the snake, with all thy saints, we worthily commemorate them worthy, that were, and are to come. May their essence be here, present, potent, puissant, and paternal, to perfect this feast.
So mote it be.